So here's my problem that I have. I used the Viofo A119 V3 for my dash cam, and I use it in a vehicle where I change vehicles almost every day. So currently I'm using the suction cup mount here so that I can put it in and out every day. But the problem with that is you can't use that along with the GPS module, which I would like to use. But because of this clip here and the way it's set up, you can't use that and the GPS module at the same time. So what I'm gonna do is attempt to modify the suction cup, clipping off this little clip right here, and then using some adhesive to hook it to the back of the GPS, and then essentially be able to use them both at the same time to mount it up into the window. So that is what I'm going to try to do today. So what my thoughts are is I got this Dremel tool from Hobby Lobby yesterday, and I am going to use this along with the cutoff blade to remove this and then sand it down a little bit to get a nice smooth surface, and then use some liquid epoxy as an adhesive to stick it to there and hope that's going to go ahead and stick. Okay, so I got that figured out, how to get the wheel on here. Of course, when you're working with anything like this, don't forget about your handy dandy safety glasses. You don't want a little piece of that ending up in your eyeball. And to get a good grip on it, get some pliers here. And then let's get this taken care of. So I'm just going to use a little cutting wheel like this to go ahead and remove this clip right here. Nope. And there goes the tip number one. There we go. Well, there we go. We got the clip off there. Now I'm just gonna use a sanding wheel to kind of smooth this out a little bit. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is use this sanding wheel to smooth that out a little bit so it's got a good surface. So I think that should do the job. Got that all smoothed off and scuffed up here so the epoxy will do a good job of sticking. Now it's time to mix up the epoxy. I was thinking about scuffing this up too, but I don't know if there's enough clearance to do that. You can see it has the little screws on there to take this apart. So my hope is just the scuffing up on that one will do the job good enough. Stick it on there. It's going to be enough contact in here for the adhesive to work. So in order to make it a little bit better of adhesive on it, because that's a really smooth surface, I am going to go ahead and scuff it up a little bit with this Scotch-Brite pad right here first. Go. Go ahead and give this guy another bit of a rub too. Give you much of a steer stick to work with either. All right, now the key, I'm sure here, is going to be to get this thing on here as straight as I can, and to make sure I get it the right direction. So it's like this, and like this. So Right here, just go right here. This is probably going to be a one and done shot. I don't imagine I'm going to get to try this more than once. That sucker centered. There we go. You can always move the suction cup around a little bit if you need to, of course. I don't ever get it exactly horizon centered on my windshield, I'm sure. So I'm going to use these little clip guys on here. That's moving around quite a bit. Let's get that. Try not to get a bunch of this on my fingers, of course. That's pretty slimy there. Let's get this guy on here straight. Might have used way too much like that. Like I said, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Okay, on there nice and straight. This guy. So, yep. Just gonna leave it like that. Give it a couple of hours to dry up. Let's push this down on there, make sure it's on there nice and tight. Yep. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. A couple hours. All right, so it's been about an hour, so looks like it's dried up. So we're gonna go ahead and take this stuff off of here. See what kind of look I had. Seems to be pretty sturdy. Yeah, I think that might do it. We'll see. You can see I just got it centered on there the best I could. Probably used way too much of that epoxy. I've never used it before, so I wasn't sure. So now it's just going to go up in the windshield like this, and I'll have the GPS on there and the suction cup so that I can put it in and out of the vehicle every day like I do. My reason for doing this too is because I want to upgrade this 119 to a 229 so that I can have Wi-Fi, GPS, and the auxiliary input for a microphone, so I can use an external microphone with it. And it has a little bit bigger screen, and it's just got better features. This one's a great dash cam. It's just a little bit of a hassle because you got to pop the card out, put it into your tablet or your computer to transfer the files. So if I upgrade to the newer one, then I'm going to have Wi-Fi, so I can just hook it up to my phone. Hopefully that'll be a little bit more convenient. But again, what I did is I went ahead and modified this suction cup adapter, used some epoxy, glued it to the GPS unit. That way, use the GPS unit and be able to put my dash cam in and out of the vehicle every single day with the suction cup here. So it feels like it's sturdy. It does go in a semi truck, so it gets beat up pretty good. Now, if you have a, from what I understand from the forums I go on, if you have a 4K version of one of these cameras and you do something that extends out the mount too much and you get a little bit of vibration, that doesn't work because the 4K can't handle that. It messes up your video somehow. So this one is only, I think, a 1080p one, and then the A229 is 2K. So hopefully this extended mount will work.